Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam is the man who built both the Kaaba and the Aqsa in Jerusalem, two of the most sacred places of worship in our Islamic tradition and human history. Both of them were built by Ibrahim alayhi salam. But Ibrahim didn't do it alone. He had two children, Ismail and Ishaq. Ibrahim alayhi salam, instead of building the Kaaba alone, he brought his son Ismail to help him in this project. And estimates put Ismail at a teenager during this time. And 40 years later, Ibrahim alayhi salam was told by Allah to build Jerusalem, to build the Aqsa specifically. And who did he involve in that project? His son Ishaq alayhi salam, who again was estimated to be in his teenage years. This question of how do we become friends with our teenage children? A very difficult question and for a very difficult phase in our parenting experience. But it's not impossible. It is very possible. Look at Ibrahim alayhi salam. He was able to have a strong, friendly relationship with his children. So let's look at some ways we as parents can come closer to our teenage children. But before that, know that there's a general rule here. The healthier our relationship is with our children between the early ages until the age of 10, will make it easier for teenage years. Meaning, the healthier your relationship is with your children before the age of 10, then the healthier it will be after the age of 10. And the less healthy it was before 10, then the less healthy, the more difficult it will be during the teenage years. But regardless of what our experience is, there's always, inshallah, a way of improving things. So, 5 ways. 5 ways we can come closer to our teenage children to have a stronger, healthier, loving relationship bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Number 1, play the games they like to play. This is so important. My generation, and of course the younger generation, there are these things called video games. We love playing them. When I was younger, it was really a boys' thing to do. Girls didn't involve themselves in video games, but in Gen Z, the younger generation, it's boys and girls. Both of them. And it seems like it's pretty balanced in terms of demographics. So it's more than likely your child, whether son or daughter, is playing some sort of video game. If you see them playing, don't start saying, oof, and you're going to fail school, and this is all nonsense, and you're ruining your brain. Rather, play with them. Yes, play with them. You don't know how? It's okay. No one knows how to play a video game when they first start playing. You'll learn. But it's so important. It's such an easy way of bonding with your child. Why? Because you're doing the thing they like to do. It boosts their self-esteem. Oh, cool. My parents actually like something that I like. Yeah, please be involved. Instead of demanding that they be involved in the things that we as grown-ups like to do. Guess what? To a teenager, sitting down, drinking tea and talking to people is not interesting. They have energy. That's how Allah created them. They want challenges. They want to become better. They want to become stronger. They want to reach goals. That's how they are. We as grown-ups, we like the relaxation, had a hard day at work, some tea, just sit there and enjoy the moment. But we can't take them up to our level. But we can go down to their level. So play the games they enjoy to play. It's such an effective bonding, a time to bond with our children. Number 2, talk about the things they like to talk about. You don't know what they like to talk about? Well, no problem. You can learn about the things they like to talk about by listening to what they talk about with their friends. By Googling, what's going on in the celebrity world. By Googling the latest scandal or fiasco when it comes to celebrities. You'll find a lot of information and then bring it up. Don't ask them, hey, what's going on in the celebrity world? That's kind of weird. But if you say, man, I heard this and that is going on, like for example, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, you bring it up and they'll probably start saying, wow, yeah, that's happened and people are saying this and people are saying that. I heard this celebrity and that celebrity got divorced. You'll find your daughter saying, yeah, that happened. I can't believe it happened. Who's right? Who's wrong? They'll start talking. And some parents come to me and they say, my child doesn't talk. They just sit there and they're silent. They're silent. But in my experience with youth, in fact, in my own life experience, When a person is around people who share the same likings, they talk more. They're more energetic. Why? Because they feel like there's something to talk about. So you as a parent, learn about the things they enjoy talking about and talk about it. It makes the parent feel closer to the teenage child. It makes them want to talk more, and you build a relationship. Remember, healthy relationships are built off of healthy conversations. The third thing that we need to do to come closer to our teenage children is tone it down on criticism. Tone it down on criticism. I see parents talking, for example, mothers talking to their daughters. Why is your hair like this? You look like a ghul. You look like a monster. No one's going to marry you. You're such a nakedi person. You're such a grumpy person. Criticism. No one's going to marry you. No one's ever going to like you. How are you going to be a mother? How are you going to be a wife? How are you going to be a father? How are you going to do that? Oh my God. Look, just me talking about this makes me want to run away from such parents. And think about it, parents. If you are sitting around a group of people, and all they do is just criticize you. Well, why is your shoes dirty? Why are you wearing that shirt? Why are you doing this? Why didn't you do that? Are you going to like being around them? Of course not. Well, guess what? If you as parents do this to your children, they're not going to like to be around you. When they're in a phase where they want to grow, they want to assert themselves, they want to feel independent, strong, competent, criticism does the exact opposite. And so naturally, a child, whether son or daughter, who has a mother or a father who's constantly criticizing, constantly threatening, constantly you do this and you do that, and we, back in our days, we do this, you always complain, you're always whining. Of course they're going to withdraw. And of course they're not going to speak. And of course the relationship is going to fracture. It's going to cause a fissure between parent and child. So tone it down on the criticisms. Do they make mistakes? Of course they do. They probably make more mistakes than they do correct things. But there is a good way of pointing that out. And there is an unhelpful way in pointing that out. Think of clever ways to tell them, hey, my son, my daughter, you know what? I caught you doing this. I saw you doing this. I heard you saying that. This doesn't fit our principles. It doesn't fit who we are as Muslims or as human beings. The fourth thing that we can do is to allow them space to enter into our projects. Look at Ibrahim alayhi salam. Took the opportunity, this noble moment, to build the Kaaba, to build the Aqsa, and involve their children, his children, alayhi salatu wassalam. He could have said, no, you don't know how to do it, you're still not old enough, just go away, you're going to make things more difficult. Look, I know, I'm a parent, and I know when I have to take my child out, it takes 30 minutes to get ready. But when I want to go out myself, it takes 5 minutes. And the child goes, and he starts looking at things. Baba, what's this? And Baba, what's that? And he starts doing random things. That's how they are. We as parents, we should have the maturity to be patient with them. They don't have the maturity to be patient with us. That's just a fact of the matter. Allow them space into your projects. You're into investing. Say, hey, my son, my daughter, you want to learn with me? Come with me. Let me show you. Oh, I'm going to offer my condolences to a family who lost a loved one. Would you like to come with me? Just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we'll go and we'll leave. You teach the child, they see you in action. A lot of youth look at their parents and they think they're so boring. Yeah, my parents, they're nobodies. They're not fun. They're not interesting. But I know that if they were to enter into your workplace and see you working, see you on the ground, it's a completely different world. Whoa, my father's doing this, my father's doing that, my mother actually does these things. That's pretty interesting. So involve them in your projects and don't make the excuse they're just going to make things more stressful. They're going to make mistakes. It's okay. If they make a mistake, clean up after them. It's part of the process. And last but definitely not least, if you feel that your teenage child is distant from you, never hesitate to sit down and say, oh, my son, oh, my daughter, I feel that you're distant from me. I just want to know why. I'm here, I'm listening. Express yourself. And I promise you, I'm not going to react negatively. I'm not going to punish you. I'm not going to react in a threatening manner. I just want to understand why. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me. It's not taking you out of your authority status. It doesn't. On the contrary, you'll find that it instills your authority in their heart. when they feel that my parents are humble enough to listen to me. So with these 5 things, inshallah, we can put ourselves on our way to building a healthier, stronger, more loving relationship with our teenage children. And of course, Allah is the one who gives us tawfiq. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.